Mika Brzezinski, host of Morning Mika, the queen of Karens, tweeted out yesterday, at Jack, at what point is Twitter a part of this? Take down Trump's account. The world would be safer. Retweet if you agree. Let's break this down. First of all, it seems to me that either she doesn't have or is comfortable creating the impression that she doesn't have Jack's contact info. You're like a big shot. You have a show on MSNBC. You're kind of a big deal. Jack won't take your calls. Or maybe Jack took your calls and now you're trying to go public. Number one. Number two is the world would be safer. So if the president has his finger in the nuclear button, what are you going to do? If he has his finger on the tweet button, this is dangerous. It's dangerous to you, bitch. And you're a murderer husband, former boyfriend who you were sleeping with while you were co-host on the show. Second, it is really important that people are able to hear what the president is saying. Just like it would be really important to know what Osama bin Laden's saying, right? Because if even in the model that he's Hitler, it's like, okay, what's Hitler up to now? We really got to stay on top of this shit. What she would like is that literally Hitler talks, and then her job is to tell the rest of us what he really said and how to think about it. And there is an increasing population in this country which has come to the realization that that is demented and makes no sense. And they don't have to be Republican, they don't have to be right-wing, they don't have to be Bernie people. It's like, wait a minute, who the fuck are you, other than some daddy issues chick who's got a show on MSNBC? You're going to be telling me how to perceive the president, whoever the president might happen to be? I mean, I can value your input, and you're going to have, a lot of information historically and so on and so forth and insight, but like, you have to be the filter? How dare you? You stole my dreams with your empty words. So she went on this tear, and I haven't watched it yet. I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that.
And
may I see it?
I've been told this is pornographically good. Like, this is like some kind of total, I would say like a PMS tantrum, but she's clearly barren at this point. No one who has hair like that has her period. Let's watch this clip.
U.S. leads the world in coronavirus cases by a lot. The U.S. is just over 4% of the world's population, yet represents 31% total cases. And the president somehow thinks that's a good thing.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, this is a lie. Let's look at the things. First of all, if everyone in America had it and no one died, would we care? No. So the real number is deaths. Then you got to look at deaths per capita, right? Also, I mean, where's China on this? China's not in the top 10? A country with 1 billion people where the virus originated has fewer coronavirus cases than Turkey. We're supposed to take this at face value. Spain, I didn't even hear. I've been covering this issue on the show very extensively. Spain has not been a big country with this issue. Wait, Spain has more. Look at this. Every cathedral outlet has been talking about correctly how bad this has been for Italy, right? We've all talked about it. They've taken extreme measures. It's been really bad there. They have an older population. Things get complicated with the data. But Italy was really struggling with this. And the Prime Minister, Giuseppe Conte of Italy, would be the first to admit it. This has been a big problem. But if I looked at this chart, Italy is number 6. Russia's number 2. Have you heard any articles about Russia and how bad it is in Russia? For the first time in the Trump presidency, Russia's not an issue because coronavirus. Look at this. This is a brazen lie. Go on. Wait. How many do we have? 1.5 million? Okay. Go on.
When we have a lot of cases, I don't look at that as a bad thing. I look at that as, in a certain respect, as being a good thing because it means our testing is much better.
Right. So what that number is, number of reported cases. So who knows? It's not total case. It's total cases that we've tested for. Who knows how many actually people have in these other countries? Because as we've seen, the fatality rate is minuscule. It's something like 2. Let's suppose it's 2%. 98%. That means 98% of people survive it. That 2%. That's a lot of people dying, and that is no joke. But it's still, in terms of percentage, and that's the real number. Go on.
So if we were testing 1 million people instead of 14 million people, we would have far fewer cases, right? So I view it as a badge of honor. Really, it's a badge of honor. It's a great tribute to the testing and all of the work that a lot of professionals have done.
I mean, aside from the fact that most believe that this president has botched this crisis from the get-go, and this will be known in history worldwide as a human catastrophe that he could have prevented.
Really? You think so? I don't think so. Go on, go on.
And he's trying to deflect at all times. And Willie and Mike, he's tweeting again all sorts of crazy things. Once again, tweeting conspiracy theories about Joe, falsely accusing him of murder, talking about the death of a young staffer in his congressional.
This is what's amazing. This is why I'm so confident in the future of this country. If this were 10 or 15 years ago, and there was some random loon politician saying that your husband murdered someone, you would ignore it. We would never, ever hear about it. Or he would talk to his supporters and she would pretend like this wasn't going on. And now on her own show, she has to say, there's this other site, Twitter, and the president is tweeting awful things. And she's not just saying awful things. Trump is very clever because when people say awful things about him, he doesn't repeat. He doesn't say, oh, they said I'm this and that. He'll often say, oh, they're saying such terrible things about me. He doesn't repeat them, which is smart. Hillary doesn't usually do it either. She's like, oh, they make up lies about me. She doesn't repeat the lies. And she's sitting there being like, Trump is tweeting out that the co-host of this show is a murderer. This is not something she wants to discuss. This is something technology is forcing her to discuss to the amusement of literally everyone else. Let's watch a little bit more. Oh, this is so good.
Staffer in his congressional office years ago and calling him dangerous to walk the streets. And I'll just say, I'll take a point of personal privilege here. That's sick. Donald, you're a sick person. You're a sick person. To put this family through this, to put her husband through this, to do this just because you're mad at Joe because Joe got you again today?
Wait, hold on. Didn't she steal him from his wife? Weren't they fucking when they were both married? You're the mistress. First of all, kudos if you're the mistress and you got the husband. That never happens. So she must got something killer down there. But can you look this up? I'm 99% sure they were both married when they started having an affair. And more power to them. What if the marriages weren't doing well and their marriage is for formality only? Who knows what's going on there? But the point is, don't talk about putting a family through, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this poor family. If you can't handle the heat, bitch, get out of the kitchen.
Because he speaks the truth and he speaks plainly about your lack of interest and empathy in others and your lack of ability to handle this massive human catastrophe.
Look at this bitch. Look at that face, perfect. Does this look like the face of someone who has empathy? Like, does anyone watching this show think that this person really cares about the average American? Please screen cap that. Yeah, there is no emotion coming from this ice maiden other than self-righteousness. And I say this as a self-righteous ice maiden. Do we know about the affair?
I'm looking it up now.
Okay. Anyway, let's just watch a little bit more. This is so good. This is so good.
You've made it worse, and that you make it worse every day, and that you won't even wear a mask to protect people from your germs. But the germs you're spreading on Twitter, first of all, Twitter, you shouldn't be allowing this, and you should be taking these tweets down.
Wait, pause it. Look at this. What a self-righteous twat. And I've never used that word. Look how quickly she pivots from, sure, you've got a disease that might kill people, but you're tweeting and that affects me. Like, which of those two things did it seem like she cared more about? Spreading a disease that kills people, catastrophe that will be known throughout history, or these tweets about my husband that aren't true? Which of these is she spending more time on? Which is where her anger escalates? It's pretty clear to me. And it's not clear to her. Oh my God. We don't know?
The only thing I found was on Mika's Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It says, Hoffer and Brzezinski divorced in 2016 amidst allegations of an affair between Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, who divorced?
She got divorced. Mika did.
Oh, was he married at the time?
I think they both were.
They both were. Yeah. Okay. Great. Homewrecker.